What the NFL is doing to the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams is just plain wrong. Jacob Hebert here for NFL World, going to break this down for you. There's a massive problem. These two teams are going to play each other week 1 in Australia, in the first game in Australia. You would think the NFL had a plan, but they do not. According to Kyle Shanahan at the NFL owners meetings, he's like, I don't understand why we have to do this in week 1. He's like, I understand you want to grow the league, but I'm worried about the health and safety of my players, which is obvious. This team, the San Francisco 49ers team, has been really banged up in recent years, with the health being a big concern for obvious reasons. Why is the NFL making these two teams go there? There's really, it's a 3-part problem. Part number 1, the travel, 16 hours from LA or from California to Australia. So it's a 32-hour flight round trip. You're going to ask these two teams to fly 32 hours, play a game in week 1 where they're not callous, their body's already tired because they're going through a time zone difference, and then also play a division rival. So it's going to be like amped up to like 1,000, and they have to travel to a foreign country to do it. Doesn't make any sense. Does not make sense. I don't care what the NFL says, it does not make sense. Then you have part number 2 of this problem, which is the market. The market in Australia is very small for American football, but it's also very small for any sport. It is actually probably about the size of Texas, which is ridiculous to think about. So you're going to send all these players over there, do all these things, worrying about the health and safety of these players, and no one's going to watch. So how is this going to be broadcasted? That's a concern. How is the United States fans going to watch that? How are the people in California or around the world going to watch? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. There's no plan for this. Number 3, part 3 of the issue is what's going to happen with no bye week. The Rams and 49ers are not going to get a bye week, which makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. They did this last year with the Chiefs and Chargers when they did the game in Brazil. And they didn't give them a bye week, and it ruined those two teams. For a couple weeks, it destroyed them. This is not just going to affect the 49ers and Rams in week 1, because that's the reason they're not getting a bye week. It's because this game is in week 1. This is going to affect them week 2 and week 3, and possibly even in week 4. Because of the time zone difference, the body being already now is trying to adapt back, and now it's banged up, and now we got to play another game. It doesn't make any sense. It's such a pointless thing to do. It's worse for the 49ers than it is for the Rams because they got to play 2 international games, which goes back to my point about Kyle Shanahan when he was saying about the health and safety of his players. How can you tell your players, we're going to go and play in Australia, and at some point during the year, we got to go to Mexico City and play a game against a team that we don't know who that's going to be yet. And then when during one game of the season, we also have to play the New York Giants in New Jersey. I know that's not an international game, but there's a lot of miles to add up. It's pointless. Why is the NFL doing this? Because the NFL wants to grow. That's the reason. That's the only reason. They want to grow, and they have NFL greed, what we're going to call NFL greed. And it's real. It's a very real thing. Because they keep trying. Remember when you were a kid and you had all the stretchy toys and you would stretch them as far away as you could before they would tear, and then you would push them all the way back together again? That's what the NFL is doing with these players. And eventually they're just going to tear because the NFL just keeps pulling them farther and farther and farther without pushing them closer and closer and closer again. They just don't put them back together. It's a waste of time. I'm concerned about the health and safety of these players. I know they make millions of dollars, but that's not the point I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about these people who have to get on a plane for 16 hours, play a game in Australia in a market that's not very good, play a division rival week 1 in a foreign country and continent, then fly them back another 16 hours to play a game the following week because we're not going to give them a bye week. Like, what point are you doing? What are you doing? This is a mistake on the NFL's part to doing this. I agree with Kyle Shanahan 100%. Sean McVay would have said the exact same thing had he spoken to the media on NFL owners at the NFL owners meeting. He did not. I don't know if he was there, but I can tell you this: it is just plain wrong. Let me know in the comments if you agree that the NFL should not have the Rams and 49ers play in Australia. And is NFL greed 100% a real thing? Let us know in the comments. For NFL World, I'm Jacob Hebert. Out.